criminals, animals, and horrible people being punished, but there's no way to hit them harder than we already have. It doesn't surprise me. They executed 3 young men for protesting.
Tehran escorts ships in the Strait of Hormuz, with or without allies.
We're doing very well there. We're doing very well overall. You know, we don't use the Strait. The Iwo Jima doesn't use it and doesn't need it. But Europe needs it. Korea, Japan, China, and others will have to get involved in this a little. Sir?
Mr. President, do you still want South Korea to support the United States?
Yes, what is it?
Do you still want South Korea to support?
I love South Korea. We have a great relationship with South Korea. We're helping South Korea a lot.
Mr. President, do you think Israel will end the war when you are ready?
I think so, Mr. President. The relationship is very good, I think. We want more or less the same things. You know what we want? We want victory, both of us, and that's what we get. Exactly how they're going to operate, you know, there's a plan, but how do you tell that to a reporter? If I told a reporter, Marco would say, "Please, sir, let's get you to the helicopter right away." I can't say. It's definitely a place people are talking about, but I can't say you're there. How does the epic fury affect the dialogue between Russia and Ukraine? What do you have to say about that? Negotiations are on the back burner. Not right now. We're talking about it. I think it will be resolved when you expect the next round of negotiations. They happen almost every day. We are making a lot of progress, sir.
The war was won militarily in Iran. What did you mean by that? He stated that the victory was military.
I think we won. We took down their Navy, their Air Force, and their air defenses. We took down everything. We're moving around freely. From a military point of view, they only block the Strait militarily. They're done for.
How much longer does the American public expect this?
Do you wish to continue? You had stated that opening the Strait of Hormuz is a purely military matter.
Quite simple.
But what did you mean?
By that, it's a simple military maneuver. It's relatively safe, but you need a lot of help in the sense that you need ships, you need volume. And NATO could help us, but so far they haven't had the courage to do it, and others could help us, but you know, we haven't used that. You know that at a certain point, this will open up by itself at a certain point. But we defeated the enemy, and they are the enemy. They are a group of sick people. The leadership is gone, the Navy is gone, the Air Force is gone, the air defense, the equipment they had, the radar they had, everything is gone. Everything is gone. The Strait itself, how are you? The Strait itself, we're doing a good job. But it would be good if the countries, including China, if the countries that use it, China uses 90% of its energy through there, Japan is 95% of its energy. It would be good if those countries got involved. I thought she did a good job.
Yesterday, part of the American bases in Europe, Lindsey Graham asked you to reconsider the presence of American bases in Spain and Germany after what they did in the Strait of Hormuz.
What's your opinion? Well, he deserves it. He's right to ask. I think NATO lost strength because it didn't do that. They should help in the Strait. They draw a lot of energy from the Strait of Hormuz. And if Lindsey Graham said that, and don't forget he was a big supporter of NATO for a while, and now he's not anymore. And many senators and congressmen are very upset with the fact that NATO hasn't done anything. There's a whole issue at stake of an entire people. The good news is there's a Middle East ceasefire and dialogue has resumed. Well, look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side. They don't have a Navy, they don't have an Air Force, they don't have any equipment, they don't have observers, they don't have air defense, they don't have radar, and all their leaders have been killed at every level. That's not our intention. Thank you, sir. A quarter, another one there. I really thought he...
Reacting to the news that Chuck Norris passed away, they were friends. He said that Chuck was a great guy and that he was sad to receive this news. The president also basically said what they need. And he mentioned this earlier when I spoke with him on the phone today, saying that it's dangerous. Of course, but it's not that hard to create a big presence on the streets. All these countries came together to use a large part of the energy that passes through the Strait of Japan. I'm sorry, let's go back. He answers a few more questions. Let's see.
It was about time, frankly. This should have been done before I was born. Why did you do that?
Criticize Mr. President? Are you listening to me, Mr. President? A report showed that the MAGA movement and the Republicans are united around you. About Iran, there are reports indicating that the U.S. may send 2,500 Marines to the Middle East. Do you fear that a measure like this could change that unity?
I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of support because CNN released a poll today saying I'm at 100%. And they said they've never seen a poll like that. The CNN poll said I'm at 100%, and they had never seen that before, which is an honor. I was impressed that CNN did that. But as for the troops, I can't tell you what we are.
What I am exactly doing right now, sir, you criticized Australia, Japan, and South Korea.
This week, yes, I was very surprised.
Very surprised with Australia and with whatever they do.
Well, they should get involved. And I was a little surprised that they said no, because we always say yes to them.
It's Australia.
Said no. The UK government said it will allow the US to use air bases to defend the strategic Strait of Hormuz.
Well, the UK's response was very late. It surprises me because the relationship is good and this has never happened before. They were practically our first allies in the whole world, and they didn't want us to use the island, that island whose rights they simply gave up. And to be honest, I was a little surprised by the United Kingdom. They should have acted much faster. He finally managed to complete all the tasks he had pending. Managed to complete a pending task.
The legal record? Do we still have that with us? Everything is fine here. It's all right. We lost the audio at this point. But the president, talking about the United Kingdom, was very surprised that they gave up Diego Garcia Island. Now he's back.
Think about it. Will it be okay, or is it just bad already? Sarah is a good woman.
The price of oil went up a lot. The price of oil plummeted.
It's gonna go up, I'm going down. The price of oil, I'm going down. No, we are not going to give nuclear weapons to terrorists, and we are giving him a beating. His Navy disappeared, his Air Force disappeared, his leaders are gone, his air defense is gone, everything is gone. And no, I expected something worse, to be honest, I really could. I thought oil prices would go up much more at that time. All right, we just broke all the records, every possible record. With the Dow, with this company at 50,000, S&P at 8,000, 7,000 at a level and speed that no one has ever seen before. But I said I need to go up this path and I need to take a little journey. We have to get him. He would agree, but he won't say it. Ah, and this isn't St. Patrick's Day, by the way. What are you doing with that tie? But we had a winding road and took care of business. We're doing this, and I'll tell you, I think we're weeks ahead of schedule. The Secretary of State is very happy. Any questions for Marco?
Yes, well, soon. Quickly, it can happen.
Cuba is a disaster because of its communist government, and that doesn't work. There's nothing new today except for the fact that this has been going on for 67 years. They're a disaster.
And what are you hearing from your Senate colleagues about the chances of passing the Save America Act?
Well, it seems like everything is going very well. It's voter ID, you need to be a citizen to vote, and I'm hearing very good things. I've heard that Democrats are against voter ID and voting exclusively for citizens. They are against transgender people, you know, they have this transgender thing with child mutilation. All the things we talked about, we added two little elements. Men out of women's sports, right? You know that, we added that. And well, when you add it all up, whether it's 4 or 5, I think they all represent 95% to 99% of the problems. I heard it's moving. Look, it should be easy to pass. We need the votes. Democrats refuse voter ID because they cheat. They refuse citizenship. I mean, we want to require citizenship to vote. You have to prove you're a citizen. The Democrats don't want to do that. You know why? Because you know why? Because they want to cheat. Peter, now speaking of something more pleasant, you see, this is going to be the biggest ballroom in the world. There's nothing like it. And today they started one of the largest concrete pours ever seen in Washington, D.C.
Is doing the construction? Has that ever woken you up?
I'm happy when I hear those pile drivers. My wife doesn't like it, but I love the sound. I love the sound of concrete. I love the sound of the pile drivers.
How are you, Mr. President? A question, how are you doing?
All good. You can hear the president there, a bit of competition with the helicopter and the noise, but he really spoke to almost the whole line there. While he was speaking, he commented on the Save America Act and voter identification, saying there were good things about its approval. As we mentioned, he was with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Peter Doocy asked if there are any developments regarding Cuba, and he said that the country has been suffering for many years, hoping that this is coming to an end with changes over there. A lot was addressed as he moved along the line, including dissatisfaction with NATO partners, especially the United Kingdom. The president is actually quite unhappy with their response and with the lack of help in this initiative in Iran.